Paradise episode 6. This is the episode we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been keeping track of this series. After the episodes 1 through 5 cliffhangers, not knowing what's going on, episode 6 kind of explains things to a point. We get a flashback in the beginning between Terry and Xavier. We see how Xavier and his wife knew each other, how it blossomed, and what happened to Terry. We're finally getting that story, especially with only 2 episodes left of this 8-episode series. Then we see what happened to Terry, and then Colin's trying not to, realize it and still trying to see if she's alive or not. And that's the basis of this episode. Is Terry alive? Then that prominent "they're lying to you" is still in the sky, displayed on the dome. Sinatra is on site of the control tower. She's angry at Carl for, kind of rigging things where that everyone who knows how to work the system and the controls is locked out of the system. So it's really cool to see a, supporting character like Carl do what he does, and he kind of trusts Xavier into doing things. And we see another flashback. We see President Cal kind of ask Xavier to walk him through the Doomsday Protocol if something happens. Xavier does that, but then Cal realizes that he's rushing through it for some odd reason. Doesn't know why, but he has something in the back of his mind. Cal asks him, and Xavier's like, well, I don't know. Then Cal's like, all right, just let's take it easy. There are a lot of Die Hard references in this, and I love the character James Marsden plays because he's giving that 80s, 90s vibe of the music and the movies, and the people who he's speaking with about these references know nothing about it. Like Xavier hasn't seen Die Hard, and Cal's like, you haven't seen Die Hard? It's fun reference and a callback. It's really, really good. You could say that this is the Die Hard episode of Paradise. Then Xavier asks to know precisely what the world-ending scenario would be, if it's supposed to happen, or if something happens like that, and when will it take place. Cal says he can't share that information, but he wants him to tell him one thing. And it's like, oh, then you see the friendship between Cal and Xavier start growing, and Xavier kind of trusting Cal, Cal 100% trusting Xavier, and it's like, oh, okay. Now we're back at the tower. No one knows how to stop these messages from appearing in the dome, or the dome sky, whatever you want to call it, before the masses. They don't want to cause mass panic, mass hysteria. Well, that's somewhat happening already. The only real option is to do a hard reboot of everything, which involves shutting down the sky and turning it back on. But Gabriella says that's not what we want, because then it shows, like I stated, mass panic and mass fear, and then they'll realize that these people here are living in a dome, in a cave. And then we see the Secret Service band with Xavier and basically start this coup against Sinatra. And it goes on and on, saying how Xavier is telling them like Cal and Billy were murdered. There's something underlining going on. We have to figure out, let's take over and let's get the real truth. That Sinatra is behind all of this. She's pulling the strings, and that other billionaires are with her and trying to figure out everything. The coup begins, and all chaos ensues, and it's really crazy. Finally get an action-packed, intense episode. Every single, scene is like, whoa, what is going on? What's happening? I will say Sterling K. Brown is great in this series. It's so well done, so good. And Xavier finally gets hold of Sinatra. The dialogue between the two about what's going on, what's happening. She lets him know that she knows he has all the weapons in town, where the weapons are, what's going on, what's happening, and how his coup kind of won't work. But there's something that Xavier doesn't know, but Sinatra does. And she kind of, in a way, intimidates Xavier. She's like, don't mess with me, or, I will tell you what you want to know, and if you stop all that you're doing and this coup or your games or your charades or nonsense, I can help you find her. And that her that Sinatra is talking about is Terry, Xavier's wife. So it's like, wait a minute, there's much more underlining stories here. The cliffhangers, the what ifs. 2 episodes left, ladies and gentlemen, and it's getting crazy. If you haven't seen this show, do so. If you love that sci-fi mystery and what's going on and, that Twilight Zone feel, this is a show for you. This is the episode that it really, really picked up, and it's like, okay, more questions need to be answered, and hopefully they are answered in the final 2 episodes, because if they don't wrap it up, it's going to be like, okay. And the whole action sequences and flashbacks and going to present day is so well done. It's really, really good. This is the episode I've been waiting for. This is the episode that I wanted, and it's really fun to see. Love the way things were done, but it's like, who's really telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth? Who can you trust? Who can you not trust? And Xavier, is he going to come to his senses and be like, is my wife alive or not? That's the question that needs to be answered. And what and how and why is Sinatra behind all this? Or is there someone else pulling the strings behind her? Just have to wait and see to find out. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about episode 6 of Paradise. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the whole aspect of how the episode went? What do you think is going to happen in the final 2 episodes? Let me know in the comment section about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next review video.